Matt, thank you for squeezing us in between your classes today. Congratulations on moving to the region, and we know you'll do a great job for the city. We turn our attention now to Crystal Beach. It was one of several Niagara communities hit hard by last Saturday's storm. Crystal Beach resident Nigel Hay spent the day rolling tape, and his video has over 6,000 views on YouTube. He spoke to our Brenda Schultz earlier this week on Zoom.
Nigel, you've been tracking storms since 1985. What is it about extreme weather that excites you?
Good question. It's probably a bit of not knowing what to expect next. Starting off chasing storms, well, not chasing them, but just observing storms from just on the Atlantic Ocean as a kid in Cornwall in the UK. I was just fascinated by the power of what the wind and the waves can do to a coastline. And living down here in Lake Erie, it kind of has that same effect. It just kind of, it's like a magnet. It just kind of draws me in.
Let's get to the storm on December 11th. What was it like on that day?
It was really, really weird because it was very slow moving in. So we originally anticipated it coming in a couple of hours earlier. I got myself set up, I went to a few different locations, and I realized the town was shutting things down very, very quickly, which means they were taking this one very, very seriously. So a lot of the roadways are being closed. So later on in the day, I made my way over to Shirkston, and I set myself up there facing like a south-southwesterly direction, waiting for the storm to come in. And when it did come in, it came in. It was like a blink of an eye. You could actually look out on the lake and you could see the water about 2 or 3 kilometers an hour just change in front of you, and you just know it's coming, and it's coming fast. And when it hit with such a blast of warm air in front of it. It's something like I've never felt before. It was a really, really strange feeling. It's hard to explain. And then it was here. The storm was there. It was really, really weird.
Was there much damage that day?
I didn't come across that much. When I was at Shirkston, a few trailers had a bit of siding blown off. There was a tree that was blown over in the street, which I actually caught, but I didn't use that footage because I had to drive around it. So there was a tree knocked over, blocking the whole road. I saw a couple of trees down near where I live here in Ridgeway, a nice big pine tree being blown over. By the time I got there, they had the big scooper out, just pushing it off the road. The tower in Ridgeway, the cellular tower collapsed. The one on the Crystal Beach Arena, I believe that collapsed. I saw the photographs of that the next day. I didn't realize I'd driven past it so many times. I didn't notice because it was dark, I guess, but that had collapsed in the windstorm.
Along the way, you've had to invest in video equipment, get comfortable in front of a camera, and learn how to edit. Have you enjoyed that part of the process as well?
Yes, I have. I used to do some form of photography years ago. So when I decided to do videoing, I sold my DSLR camera to a very well-known photographer in Port Coburn, actually. And then that money from that, I invested into the video side of it. And it is weird videoing yourself, especially in front of a crowd, because people look at you and go, what's that idiot doing? And it's kind of weird at first. So it's nice when you're on your own, but when there's a crowd, it's kind of a little nerve-wracking. But once you've done it for a minute or so, you forget they're there. You really, really do. It's a really weird thing. Just starting is the hardest bit. Once you get going, it's easier.
Okay.
But editing is the worst bit. That's very tedious.
What would be the point of interviewing a weather expert if we didn't ask him for his thoughts on what lies ahead for us this winter?
What they're saying is, because it is going to be a milder winter, expect a lot of snow when it finally does arrive. A lot of the models were saying, and what I've been hearing people talking about, there's going to be a lot of a roller coaster ride of deep freezes, then very sudden warmth to like thaw it out. It's just going to be a roller coaster of a winter. That's what I'm hearing the predictions are going to be like for this part of Southern Ontario.
Nigel, thank you for joining us today and recapping last week's storm for us.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.